I've been going through the archives again, and I've found some old footage of a program I did on a program called Mystic Challenge. I've put a few of these up already. This one today is going to be with the celebrity called Eddie the Eagle. I didn't know that, of course. He's hidden in heavy disguise. All I've got to go on is they give me something to hold. I think I held a pen or something that he'd let me hold that was being his. He was under a sort of big piece of tarpaulin, and I could hold my hands over it just to sense anything. But I didn't know anything about him, even if it's a male or female person under there. And from that, one's got to get some information about the person, and I'd then be pitted against another psychic who would have the same remit, and we see who get the most right. Okay, it's one of a game show, really, silly TV, but fun. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about Eddie the Eagle. Those that don't know him, maybe in America you don't know him, but the British will know him well. He was let's say, I'm just looking at Wikipedia, he was born in 1963. He's Michael Eddie Edwards, but actually everybody knows him as Eddie the Eagle, really. And he was the first British skier to enter the Olympics since 1929. He went in 1998. He went in. He had absolutely no real skills as a skier, and he was a fabulous, fun person who was absolutely fabulously brave. A real British eccentric, this guy is. And if you've seen the film, who played for Taron Egerton? That's it. Taron Egerton played him in the biographical film they made of him called Eddie the Eagle. Well worth going to see. Very funny movie, actually, and well worth it. But anyway, that's who was underneath the tarpaulin. Would I get it right? And would I be able to beat the other psychic and get it right and know that it really was Eddie the Eagle under there? Let's see.
Welcome to Mystic Challenge, the show that explores the mystery of history to bring you a blast from the past. But how much will today's Mystic Masters be able to reveal about our mystery guests using only their spooky skills? Well, taking up today's challenge, a tarot card reader in Bao and psychometrist Craig Hamilton Parker. At the moment, they are unable to hear anything, and as the doors shut silently on our mystic booth, they're unable to see anything either. And here to ensure fair play and judge the accuracy of our mystics are our jury of 12, led by their foreman, broadcaster, columnist and all-round good guy, Richard Arnold. OK, Richard, explain your role in the proceedings, please.
My role in the proceeding is I follow around two bizarre-looking people to guess in silk kimonos, both of which I'll be having later, but I have to stress that they are completely hooded and completely disguised. The security frightens me, frankly. I'll have to ferret my way out of the building, and I mean that in a good way.
So they may meet the mystics, but they never speak to the mystics, and the mystics never see them.
I don't know if there's any channeling going on, but I saw nothing.
Fingers crossed, then, for the show today, because it's time for us to hear from our very first mystery guest.
My name's Eddie Edwards, or Eddie the Eagle, and I was Britain's first ever and only Olympic ski jumper. Born in 1963 in Cheltenham, had a great childhood, really happy. I was a middle child, had an older brother, but that gave me my competitive streak. When I left school at 16, I went to work in Italy for 3 years as a ski instructor, ski guide and ski mechanic. Went to America at 21 for a couple of years where I started ski jumping, and then 2 years later at 24 I went to the Olympic Games in Calgary in 1988. I would like to get a sponsor to go for the 2002 Olympics. In the meantime, they're just about to make a movie about my life. I've just done my A-levels in law and social science, and I'm just starting my law degree, and go from a flying eagle to a legal eagle. I've had about 3 serious relationships in my life so far. They've all broken up, had no profound effect on me. Haven't had a relationship now for about 5 years. I just love life at the moment, so that's the way it is. In 91, 92, I went bankrupt because of problems with my trust fund. In 95, I got some of that money back. Now, I'm just a lowly student, beans on toast. I've always led a healthy, clean living lifestyle, but when I was 11, I had an infection in my cartilage in my knee, and I was in and out of hospital for about 2 years. And over the last 30 years, I've probably broken every bone in my body except my shoulder, my hip, and my thigh. I've always been very highly self-motivated, and my ambitions in the future are to go for another Olympics in 2002, do my law degree and work for the CPS, and get married and have a family.
Mystery guest is safely tucked away now in the wings, so it's time to put our Mystic Masters to the test. Remember, only our jury, and you at home, of course, know the identity of the person in question. And our first challenger today is psychometrist Craig Hamilton Parker. Earlier, Craig spent 20 minutes holding a personal object belonging to our mystery guest. He's neither met nor spoken to our guest. Please welcome Craig Hamilton Parker. Good luck, sir. Take a seat. We're going to give you 90 seconds, Craig, to give us a bit of a rounded profile of the mystery guest. What areas do you want to focus on?
I'm going for relationships, childhood and career.
Relationships, childhood and career. Best of luck, mate. Your 90 seconds starts now.
OK, he's never been married. He's quite a loner at times. However, he's in a relationship at the moment, I feel. He's going through a great deal of upheaval at the moment and is moving home. He likes to play snooker in his spare time. Someone close to him is ill at the moment, and he's not allowed to show concern about this for some reason. He's one brother with whom he has a sibling rivalry. His brother tried to get into the same type of career as him, I believe. He may have been to boarding school when he was younger and has separated from his parents for a long time during childhood. He may have been a choir boy. He may have been creative at school and was bad at maths, I feel. Someone in his family is connected to the RAF. He was a finicky eater as a child and still be that way. He has a very hedonistic nature. His health's fine, but he may have dental problems, I feel. With his career, although his person's a huge actor, I feel, but I don't feel it is his career. He has a dramatic manner. He's recently changed careers. His previous career required great speed and was an individual sport, perhaps. I see the Olympics as being important to him. His career took him abroad a lot, and he particularly likes extremes of weather. Money's very important to him, and he's financially ambitious. He's a risk taker with money, and I feel has lost a lot of money in the stock exchange, possibly with the Far East.
Got 15 left. Anything else you want to add?
Well, one of the other things I've had is this is a very sceptical person, and I found him very difficult to read sometimes. I feel with him there might have been a problem in the past, possibly with hospitals.
You've done a great job, though, Craig. Difficult to read or not. Well done, Craig, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy. And Craig's cosmic challenger today is tarot card reader Inbal. The only information Inbal had to work with was a set of tarot cards chosen by our mystery guest, who was in heavy disguise. Not a single word was spoken. Please welcome Inbal. Inbal, take a seat.
Thank you.
Now you're also going to have 90 seconds to give us a nice full profile of our mystery guest. What areas do you want to focus on?
I'll start with a career and carry on to his health and relationships.
Career, health and relationships, all in 90 seconds. Inbal, your time starts now.
Thank you. He works very hard at his job. It's something to do with firefighting or forest ranger, something like that. His job is seasonal, it's repetitive, but it's not boring to him. He has to keep himself very energized, and it must be outdoors. He's made a growth of money in the past. At first he tried to make money and failed. Then he started something in a completely new way, and it seems to be growing and growing, and that's going to carry on growing. About his health, there were a few erratic things. His eyesight doesn't seem 100%. He might be colorblind or something. Also, he went through a stage where he couldn't walk, maybe in a wheelchair. Something happened to him when he was 33 years old, health-wise, and he has suffered from lower back problems at some point. About his relationship, he had a strong mother when he was young. His love spread came up with pretty disastrous cards, but now I see him married with 2 children. He's very romantic, but in the relationship he seems to be the sort of logical, hard-working partner, and his wife is completely opposite. She's the arty one that sees everything sort of beautiful and aesthetic, and she's his inspiration.
And that's your lot, Inbal?
Yep.
You've done very well. That's Inbal, ladies and gentlemen. Well, now it's time to ask for best of order as our Mystic Masters meet their mystery guest. Please welcome ski jumper Eddie the Eagle Edwards. Eddie!
Hello!
Great to see you, mates.
I'm amazed.
Craig and Inbal.
Hello.
Steady, sit down. And the reason...
I love your jacket.
The reason,
I'm
we,
getting a kiss.
the reason he went straight for Inbal was because although you both saw Eddie as being in a relationship, you're not, are you, Eddie, at the moment?
I'm not.
Have you ever been married?
No, never.
Never been married, but there are a couple of things that seem to me uncanny that they both kind of touched on. One was this idea from Inbal of a repetitive seasonal occupation, and then, unbelievably from Craig, we heard about speed, and we heard about the Olympics and extremes of temperature.
I'm amazed.
See, now, Inbal, you mentioned firefighting. Is it ever possible that you go from one extreme to the other? You get the sense of the opposite?
It has happened before,
It's happened in this case, hasn't it, baby? Because he's a snow jumper, ski man.
Same thing, really.
OK, let's take a look now individually. Craig, first of all. Now, you said never married, which was right. You also said something about an upheaval and moving house. Are you in the middle of a move, Eddie?
I'm exchanging contracts next week in a house, so I'm moving, yes.
One of the most dominant things I felt with you, actually.
Yeah.
Now, he also mentioned something about sibling rivalry. He said one brother. You've got two brothers. Did you have rivalry?
I've got an older brother and a younger sister.
Oh, right, so you've got one brother.
One brother.
And were you a rival of his?
Oof, we were always fighting.
OK, again, the career was...
competitiveness in early years.
The career was sport. Now, this is a lovely image. Were you a choir boy?
I was, yeah. Church and school choir. I was a right little angel.
And I know you're back in full-time education, or you're working as well, but you're doing education. Were you bad at maths, though, the first time round?
Kind of. I mean, I wasn't that bad, but I wasn't that good either.
Now, you said you were larger than life, but not an actor. Of course you're competitive. Is there any link with the RAF and yourself?
My sister. My sister was in the RAF for 12 years. She's just come out about 3 years ago, and she's just finishing her university degree, but she was in the RAF for 12 years.
And Craig also finally said, money's important. We know you've had your troubles recently. Let's turn now to Inbal. Yes, the firefighting, but we'll move on from that. She said you're energised, you work outdoors. There have been money worries in the past, which is spot on. She also said... eyesight, Eddie. That's too much your trademark.
I'm not colourblind, but I am blind.
Is there any colour blindness in the family, though?
My mother's colourblind. Yeah.
Now, that is astonishing, because women are very rarely colourblind, are they? So that is remarkable.
Yeah.
Also, was there any stage in your life when you couldn't walk?
Well, I had a knee infection when I was when I was about 10, and I was in and out of hospital for about 2.5 years, and just from one plaster cast to another. So literally, I was, bedbound for about 2 years.
So that's spot on. And did any medical problems happen when you were 33?
Yes, about 4 years ago, because of dental problems, I had my jaws broken. I had my top jaw broken and brought forward, and my bottom jaw broken and pushed back. So I had all that to work done to save my teeth.
There's an awful lot of food for thought there.
Yeah.
Thanks to Eddie, but of course, big thanks to Inbal and Craig. But who's going to be the winner? That's up to Richard Arnold and our jury. Take it away.
Indeed. Well, we had a little bit of banter, some of it heated, but where to start? Well, Inbal, I mean, great once again. The old goggles, of course. Disastrous love life. How do you feel? It's all in the cards, mate. There's no escape for that. And, of course, broken bones and that hospital relationship as well. That was the sizzle, but to get to the meat of it, and by that I mean the sausage, of course, Craig, the Olympics did it for me. Oh, absolutely incredible. Spot on with that. What else did we have there? The exchange of contracts on the house as well, and I'm thinking of buying somewhere soon, so if you're not too busy, do you mind?
You'll be all right,
Thank you. Excellent. And one brother sibling rivalry, so commiserations to Inbal, but the winner on this one, it's Craig, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks, of course, to the mighty Eddie Edwards.
Jane and I now do our spiritual work for our foundation. All the profits that come from things like our conferences and theatres and workshops and all those exciting things now go into this foundation, which ultimately has the long-term plan of building centres in the UK and maybe around the world one day. But meanwhile, we've been doing a lot of direct spiritual work with it. We've been going out, feeding people in India, giving to the destitute, giving to beggars. We've helped feed schools, helped orphanages, and we've even given cows to older people that have no other form of income. So mediumship can change your life, but it can also help people directly in the world. So go to the links at the end and find out all about what Jane and I are trying to do. And you can do a lot just by sharing these videos on social media. Help us get the word out. Help us to do something really good in this world. Click on this picture of me to subscribe to our channel and see all of our latest videos as soon as they're published. Or click on this next video for more of our stuff.